Hey y'all, Kellye waiting here. One of the dolls is having a hard time at work. She reached out to me. I consulted my board of directors, and these are my thoughts on what I would do if I was in her position. I'm gonna be looking at my screen a lot because I made notes. There's a lot to it and I don't wanna miss anything. She said, Auntie, I need some advice. I'm thinking about quitting my job. I've been here for almost a year and a half. A few months ago, my manager and 2 supervisors quit. I stepped up to be the lead of my department until a permanent one was hired. I initially stepped in to support my team, but over the course of time that I served as interim lead, an opportunity for a promotion in a different department opened up. I expressed interest to the manager in charge of the position. We had several conversations about getting promoted, and I figured that my time serving as lead would give me an edge over any competition, so I worked hard. Some days I came early, other days I stayed late. I worked a few overnight shifts when no one else was available. I trained new hires and made sure that everything was done properly. Toward the end of my time as lead, the manager in charge of the promotion informed me that he was leaving as well. He told me that someone else would be taking over the hiring process from that point, but that was a lie. He ended up hiring someone for the position a week before he left. There was never anything in writing to guarantee that I'd get promoted, but still, why would he look me in my face for weeks, acting like he would give me the position, knowing that he never had any intention to? Is it because I'm black or because I'm a woman? I'm devastated by how everything happened. The deception, betrayal, and insincerity of it all hurt me more than I like to admit. Looking back, I don't regret helping my team out, but I also can't help but feel used and taken advantage of. I don't trust anyone there, and things just haven't been the same since being passed over for the promotion. I've been thinking about quitting for weeks, and I genuinely don't think that I can keep working there feeling this way. Even though I don't have another full-time job in place yet, I have a part-time job. I also have my savings. Income tax time is coming up, and I've already started cutting back on my spending. My family is telling me to stay, but my self-worth is telling me to leave. I deserve better, and I want to work somewhere that's conducive to growing and progressing in my field. I just want to take what's left of my mental health, try not to internalize any of this as a reflection of who I am, and leave. It's a new year and I want a fresh start. There's a lot of other things that have happened too, but the situation with the promotion was like the final straw for me. Am I wrong for feeling like they don't deserve me anymore? I really am confused and afraid of making the wrong choice. I hate that things even came to this. At this point, I'm just trying to get past the pain and look for the lesson in this. What are your thoughts? Well, first off, doll, your feelings are entirely valid. I don't think they treated you fairly, but if it was me, I would not leave my job. Look at it like this. You saved that money not for this, and I would not deplete my savings in this time of high inflation over hurt feelings. Your feelings are hurt, and rightly so. But when it comes to a professional situation, you should never act emotionally. So you should never act out of hurt feelings. First, I'm gonna address a couple of things that she said in her missive to me. Is it because I'm black? Because I'm a woman? It could be. I don't know, and you don't know either, and we likely never will know. And that's why the race thing, the gender thing, completely irrelevant. Whether it is or it isn't, don't even worry about that. I know that's easier to say than do, but we gotta practice putting emotion aside when it comes to job situations and just being professional. It's much easier said than done. I understand that, trust me, but that doesn't negate the fact that that's what we need to do. Gender, race, put that shit aside and focus on what you need to do next. She also said, looking back, I don't regret helping my team out, but I also can't help but to feel used and taken advantage of. I don't trust anyone there. Things just haven't been the same since being passed over for the promotion. Then it sounds to me like it's time for you to go. If there's no trust in an employment situation and you feel used, that's almost the point of no return, but I still would not leave the job. I would be more strategic about my exit, and I'm gonna get into how in a second. You also mentioned that you have a part-time job. Good for you. I hope you're not working too hard though. You also said income tax time is coming up. Your income tax check is for you to invest or to make some financial moves with that money. Ideally, and I'm assuming that you're good with your money because you have sufficient savings to think about leaving a full-time job, use your income tax refund to pay down debt, start investing. You should not be, ideally, looking to use your income tax refund for anything of substance. You also said, I deserve better and I want to work somewhere that's conducive to growing and progressing in my field. It's time for you to go. Now, here's what I would do. I don't think you were wrong for stepping up. Absolutely not. You saw an opportunity and you took it. That's what you're supposed to do. You spoke to the manager in charge of the position. You clearly expressed your interest in the new role. You were given the idea that you were either a strong candidate or a shoo-in for that position. You were definitely misled by that person. I'm sure that person knew exactly why you were talking to them about the role, and it doesn't sound like things were clarified as precisely as needed open-ended. Like saying, oh, I hear you have a new position is different than saying, I hear you have a new position. I would like to be considered for the role. Is there an application process? You see what I'm saying? But I want to make it clear that this type of scenario that she described, this type of shit happens all the time. You see an opportunity, you do what you need to do in order to position yourself to take advantage of it. Something goes awry, you end up on the outside looking in as somebody else gets to take over that position. I suspect there were some things happening behind the scenes that this girl didn't know about. Either that manager did not really have the hiring authority that he portrayed himself to have, and that's not unlikely because she mentioned that he left shortly thereafter. If somebody's on their way out, the people who are over him might not give him the authority to make that hiring decision because he's on his way out. In leadership circles, you don't often give somebody that kind of control if they're not going to be there to deal with that person. The remaining team is going to have to deal with that person, so they usually want to step in and have some more influence over who's going to be taking the spot. So I think there was definitely some subterfuge and some hoe shit happening behind the scenes. Here's what I would do. Would not leave my job. Savings can go like that. You were disciplined in saving that money. You don't want to use it for this, ideally. If the role is not abusive, if they're not mistreating you at that job, stick it out. I would start taking my PTO, make up a system. Every 2 to 3 weeks, take a PTO day. Go through the precise channels that you need to go through to let everybody know to prepare the others in your absence. Take your PTO. Don't just take it on Friday either. You got to shake it up. And if they say, oh, why are you going to be out? Oh, family stuff. And that's it. Don't say anything more. And if they push, just smile and say, I'm sure you mean well. Thanks for your concern. And then walk away. It's none of their fucking business why you're taking your PTO, okay? And all of the things that I'm saying should all be done concurrent. You're gonna have to prioritize and organize these things as you see fit. Do not let your performance on the job slide. Your performance and professionalism should remain intact no matter what these demons do. That is your name. That is your reputation. So if you have been expressing your hurt and you're upset over being passed over for the promotion, you've been stop it immediately, because those people at the job are not your friends. They're your coworkers. So you must remain professional. Stop talking about that shit. It's over with. The people you may have been gossiping with, if you did express your upset verbally to the people, in the job, they're going to try to bring you back. Oh yeah, girl, that was some whole shit. Da, 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 da. Oh yeah, these things happen. I was upset, but I'm over it. I'm sure the person in the job is going to be great in the role. And, I'll have another opportunity, and then transition and talk about work. Do that every time they try to pull you back into that conversation about that incident. You don't want to give anybody any reason to gossip to somebody else. Oh, she's still upset about that shit, girl. No, absolutely not. Okay? You have a therapist, bitch to that person. You got a best friend on the outside, bitch to that person. Those people at the job, they're not your friends. Okay? Be professional. Performance-wise, continue to excel, continue to be a rock star, come in on time, leave on time. Okay? When I was working a traditional job, I would come a little bit early, not too early. If you start at 9, come about 8:30, get everything ready so you can start precisely at 9 o'clock, or send your first email around 8:45. Just let everybody know you're there early, okay? And I would stay a little bit late. Stay 5:30, send that last email around 5:15, 5:30. See what I'm saying? You got to give a little bit extra. You're a Black woman. We just got to do a little bit more, all right? That's it. That's all. Everything else? No. You stepped into the leadership role. You started doing this, doing that because you had the assumption that you were going to be the boss, but you're not. Okay? I need you to pull all the way back and do the job you're being paid to do. Mind the business that pays you and nothing else. Okay? They're gonna fuss because they're used to you stepping up and doing all this, doing that, doing this, doing that with no additional compensation, remuneration, or consideration, and that shit's over, okay? Stop it. When they fuss, if they say, oh, well, we really need you to do this. So what is the compensation for me taking on additional duties, tasks, hours of work outside of my normal job scope? We should discuss that. See what I'm saying? Let people know. If you're in a job situation and let's say the new supervisor is always having little informal, impromptu meetings by your cubicle so that you can hear that they need extra help, what you do is you grab your papers, whatever it is, and look at the paper. You go to the printer, print something, or you get your coffee mug and you go to the break room, refill your water, whatever it is to do. If they continue to do it, go work in the conference room or somewhere else where you're not distracted by that. They'll get the message. And if they don't, they come directly to you and say, oh, I'd love to help, but I'm not able to. Maybe you should ask so-and-so. She might be free. and then get right back to work. Stop doing extra. You're not being paid for that. They've already established that they don't appreciate the extra effort. So you should pull it back. Let them miss you. Okay? And if they fuss, refer them to the person who's actually in that role. You see what I'm saying? Say, girl, you know we have somebody who does that, and say that person's name. Ask her about it and go back to work. I would also set a meeting with HR or whoever the power players are in the organization. You need to identify who those people are, because I suspect that manager that she was talking to wasn't the right person for her to discuss a potential promotion. Whoever the power players are who are in charge of, granting promotions, considering the succession planning and all that sort of thing, set a meeting with that person, HR, I don't know who it is in the organization, and then say, thank you for taking this meeting. I really appreciate your time. I was very disappointed recently when I didn't get the promotion into X and X role. I had discussed it with so-and-so before he left, and he led me to believe that I was a very strong contender. Could you please give me some feedback as to why I was not selected for the role? I would really appreciate that, because I really want to know what I need to work on in order to prepare myself if another opportunity comes up. And are there any developmental opportunities internally or even externally that I can take advantage of to help me prepare for the next opportunity? Because I'm very interested in advancing in this organization. So you got that base covered. Now, the last thing that I would do, if it was me, I would update my resume to reflect that interim lead role and make sure you note all of the very valuable new skills that you acquired during that time. And I would start applying for new jobs with that interim lead to guide me into the next highest position. Use ChatGPT to spruce up your resume and identify the keywords that, the ATS systems are going to be looking for that next role that you're going to. Because Chat, you can tell it to revise my resume for this role. Look for a job description that's already online, a good one related to that role, comparatively speaking, and Chat will take it from there. Use it. It's free. Use it. Okay? Again, all these things should be happening concurrently. That's why you need to step back if you're doing any extra work, because you need your energy and focus to be strategic and make these moves. That way, either way the wind blows, you still win. You're going to be okay. There's many things that you can do to come out a winner from this situation. And there are some lessons that you can learn. And I think the biggest one is sometimes shit happens that you have no control over, and you will feel slighted. You'll feel like this is unfair, but that's just life. There's fucked up people at work, just like there's fucked up people in the street, in your family, in your friend groups, and everywhere else. Those people have to work. So sounds like she ran into some of them, but that doesn't mean she should come out a loser. I would not leave my job. You gotta separate the hurt and emotion and then focus on being strategic, stacking your chips, enjoying that good old health insurance, start going to all your doctor's appointments, start preparing to leave while you're still there. I hope this was helpful. In these situations where we're at work and things don't work out exactly as we would like, don't let it break you down. I know that's easier said than done, but jobs are jobs. There's always another one. Just make sure while you're on that one, you're performing and you're professional. That's a very good foundation, and it can help to lead you into a new position, a better position somewhere else. And that ends my TED Talk for today. I'll see y'all tomorrow.